Hello everyone, welcome back to Technical DD. In today's video, we'll be looking into one of the most important topic, and this will be our very first video on how to use Graph API for creating an integration with Microsoft Purview. So in today's topic, we will learn how to create an eDiscovery case using Graph API. So first of all, what is the use case of using Graph API? Imagine your organization receives a legal request. You need to create an e-discovery case. Then you need to add custodians, create searches, place holds, collect data, and review the results and eventually export the required information. Now imagine doing all of this manually every single time. Sound painful, right? But what if I told you that Microsoft provides an API that allows you to automate many of these operations programmatically? Yes, I'm thinking about Microsoft Graph API. And in today's video, we are going to start with the foundation. The very first video, we will go with a step-by-step approach. So first, let's focus on how to create a Microsoft Purview eDiscovery case using Microsoft Graph API. Before we jump in, I would like to know, I would like to make sure that you understand what's happening behind the scene. Because once you understand how Graph API works, these API calls become much easier to understand. So let's get started. Now you might be thinking why Graph API is useful and what is the use case of using it daily. Okay, but why should I use an API when I can simply go into the Microsoft Purview portal and create the manual case? That's a very good question actually. Let's take an example. Suppose your organization creates 50 e-discovery cases every month. If every case requires the same repetitive steps, manually performing those steps in a time consuming and also increasing the possibility of human error. With Graph API, we can build automation. For example, firstly, trigger, then authentication, Graph API, create a case, get the case ID, search, and then we'll get at the end the process results. Now we have a repeatable workflow. So by using Graph API, what we can do, we can programmatically manage everything over here. So first let's understand what actually Graph API is. Okay, so Microsoft Graph API is the gateway to the data in M365. It allows developer and IT admins to interact programmatically with Microsoft service like Teams, SharePoint, Exchange, and Purview, and many more workloads. So instead of manually clicking through the admin center, Graph API lets you automate tasks, integrate workflows, and build custom solutions. For compliance and security, this is especially powerful because it helps streamline repetitive process like creating e-discovery and many more. That means as we wanted to follow the repetitive tasks daily, we can make this automatic. The process we can make it a automatic process. So why Graph API is used? Graph API is used because it provides a single endpoint to access M365 data. It supports automation, reducing manual effort. It enables integration with the third-party tools and script. It ensures consistency and scalability across environment. So if you are managing compliance at scale, Graph API will be your best friend. So let's understand what are the components of Graph API. So before we dive in, I would like to show you how the Graph API Explorer looks. So if you come to this article, I will tell you how to open this. This is a Graph API Explorer. So if you can just type Microsoft, that's it. Microsoft Graph API Explorer. The first one which you will get, this is the first link. This is the Microsoft Graph API Explorer, Microsoft Graph Dev Center, which is we are calling as the Microsoft Graph API Explorer. By using this, we can run the queries, and we can build the automation into the Microsoft Purview portal. Okay. So let's understand the components of this Microsoft Graph API. Okay, so if you can see, firstly, this is our endpoint. This is the version, beta version or 1.0 version. Now these are the methods, HTTP request methods, which we call it as get, post, put, patch, delete. So let's understand what these methods and what this endpoint means. So we will go again over here. So Graph API is built around a few key components. Resources, these are the object you interact with, like users, groups, or eDiscovery cases. Then we have endpoint, the URL you call to access or modify resources. Okay. Authentication, you need proper permissions and token to securely access your data. Suppose if we go back over here, if you can see access token, so this is the part of authentication over here. Okay. Queries, parameters you add to refine or filter the data you're retrieving. That means whatever query we will be adding over here, that is mean our queries. And into the request body, we need to add the queries. Okay. Now responses, the data returned usually in the JSON format. So what responses means? Response, if you can say response preview. So whatever the queries we are running over here, we will get a response for that one. Okay, so we will see that step by step. Now let's understand what this HTTP methods in Graph API means. These methods I am talking about: get, post, put, patch, and delete. So get, what get means? Retrieving information. Example, list all eDiscovery cases. Post means create new resources. Example, creating a new eDiscovery cases, which we will be looking into this video. Put, what put means? Replacing an existing resource entirely. All right. Patch, patch means updating part of a resource. Example, change case name. Suppose if we want to modify anything, suppose if there is a existing case created, if we need to update that, we will be going with patch. Okay. Then delete, remove resources. Example, delete an eDiscovery case. Suppose if you want to delete an created means existing eDiscovery case, you can use delete. This method give you full CRUD. That means this CRUD means, in short, create, read, update, and delete. CRUD. Okay. Control over Microsoft 365 resources. So now let's see the technical approach how we can create a eDiscovery case by using a Microsoft Graph API Explorer. Okay. So as I have told you, this is the endpoint. Okay. So if we want to create a eDiscovery case, what we will do, we will open this article. Microsoft article we have, create eDiscovery case. Okay. In this, we will get the endpoint, whatever we require, all the details will get over here. Suppose permissions. This is the firstly very important thing. What permissions you will be needing? Choose the permission, the permission mark as a release privilege for running this API. Okay. So if you can go back over here, modify permissions. So these are the permissions. Firstly, we need to give the permissions to run this API. Okay. So we'll go over here. As we know that we need eDiscovery read write all. Higher privilege permissions if we give, that's enough to run this API. Okay. So now we will be scrolling down. HTTP request. Okay. So post, request is our HTTP is our post. Post means we need to create new thing, as we have seen over here. Post means create new resource. That means we need to create a new eDiscovery case. Okay. So we'll just copy this part. Okay. I'm copying this part and I will go over under here. Just remove this move and paste over here the security cases, eDiscovery cases. That's it. Select this. And now click on modify permissions. As soon as you enter this endpoint over here like this, you will be seeing this permission by default over here. eDiscovery read write all and eDiscovery read all. So I have already given the permissions over here, and for you, you will get a blue color banner over here asking your consent. You just need to give your consent and grant this permission over here. Okay. Once you grant this, it will look like this. Admin consent required. Yes, yes. Okay. So now let's move further. Scroll down below. Request body. Okay. So we will be focusing on request now. The following example shows a request. Now what we need to put under request is, okay, so if you can see, this complete thing is over here, post, then we have our endpoint, then content type is application JSON. Okay, but in this endpoint, in this request, always remember that we don't have to put this part, only this part we can put over here. Copy, go over here, click on request body, that's it. And as we are creating, so we need to make it as a post one. So it's asking me to sign in to this method. Okay, let me sign in. I'm using my admin account. Once you sign in, if you can see, the error message has vanished now, and I will be going to click on now we can see, earlier it is just showing as admin consent, now it is showing as status. That means I have already given the permissions, privileged permissions, what is required to run this API. Now I'll go to the request body again, and I will just paste the request body. Okay, so let's edit this name. I just want my name over here, Devendra eDiscovery case. That's it. Project name I will give as Project Bazooka only. Let's keep. Okay, external ID I am keeping this one. We have given the permissions, granted the permission. Okay, if you can see, sign in with admin account is there. Okay, and just we need to run this, and let's see if our Devendra discovery case will get create under Microsoft Purview or not. Perfect. So if you can see now, the response we got is created 201. That means we were successfully able to create the eDiscovery case under Microsoft Purview. I will show you that as well, but let's focus on the response first. The response, the following example shows the response. Okay, if you can see, this is our response. In this format, we can also get the response. If you can see, I will just expand this. Yeah, so if you can see, this is our complete response. You can correlate with this. So here you will get the all the metadata. Last modified date, today's date, status active, closed date null, external ID, whatever we have given over here, then ID, which is the GUID of that case, display name, created time, written time, last modified, okay, closed by null. So this is all the metadata will be able to see under response. Response header will be there. If you want response header, request ID, everything, you can fetch it from here. Okay, so now let's see, this is created, this case is created under my eDiscovery or not. So I'm switching now to the Purview portal. I will just refresh this. Click on solutions. Again go to the eDiscovery now. So if you can see now, Devendra eDiscovery case is created. So perfect. We were able to create a eDiscovery case by using Graph API query and endpoints. So I will just open this case for your reference. Now this case is created by just running this simple query. So guys, you can see that, right? It is very useful and beneficial. Suppose if there are many hundred of queries, hundred of cases you want to create, you can just modify this queries, and you can, in a single click, you can create hundred of queries over here, hundred of eDiscovery cases, sorry. So if you can see, create a case, this case has been already created, and under this case you can start creating a search now directly. I'm just giving a test, that's it, create. I'm creating a search, and you can go with your query over here. You can put the query directly over here by choosing the condition. That's it. So I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Technical DD. Thank you for watching.